you're welcome to this week's edition of The Magnate. On this week's edition of the program, we have somebody who has traversed both the private and public sector, added value to a lot of businesses. Who is our magnate for the week? The background report will set the pace for us, and then, of course, we'll be back here to have an interesting conversation with her. We'll be back shortly.
Hajia Maryam Abubakar hails from Auchi in Edo State, a mother of 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. She attended Apepe Primary School in Auchi, Edo State, and proceeded to Abubakar Grammar School in Delta State. In between her educational career, she got married early and had her kids, then proceeded to the University of Uyo and had her first degree in sociology and anthropology. Graduating with a second-class upper, she went further for her master's degree in ETSUT, Enugu, in business administration in 2009. Her service here paved way for her career in banking with All States Trust Bank, as she was eventually retained as a permanent staff. To boost her working experience, she was known for her pleasure in banking industry and special effects to see her clients smiling and satisfied. Her advice to the banking world is that bankers are to be diligent to customers, which is an integral part of the banking system, which keeps a bank afloat irrespective of your position or department.
Our magnate for the week is Hajia Maryam Abubakar. You're welcome to the Magnate.
Thank you very much.
Well, going through your CV and your profile online, I got a bit jealous, envious. Oh, a woman of my gender with such acumen. Wow. Now we have seen a bit of what you're made of. We have seen here the background. Tell us, how was it immediately after you left secondary school? Did you do any job even while you got married early?
Well, the journey wasn't easy, but to the glory of God, we thank God where we are today. I keep telling people it wasn't a bed of roses. I got married immediately after my secondary education. For my husband, he has married a wife. He wanted me to be an housewife. But I've always known that there is something in me that drives me to want to be successful. And I keep telling my husband, I say, look, I want to go back to school. I want to go back to school. And it's like, okay, after the kids. So when I had my third child, I say, okay, I have my third child. I want to go to school now. And of course, it supported me. I went through school, my university. Then I came out, I did my youth service. Honestly, I never wanted to do youth service because for me, I'm a mother, I'm a wife. I should just get the certificate and fulfill all righteousness, get exemption from NYSC. But NYSC said, no, you are still within serving age. And in fact, it was my time. They started, once you are within serving age, no exemption. I did everything possible. They said no exemption. I said, okay. And so he posted me to Anambra State. Wow. I did my camping there. I later redeployed back to Akwa Ibom because my family were in Akwa Ibom. And so I got to serve with All State Trust Bank, okay, after which they retained me. Interesting. Yes, that was the beginning of my sojourn.
Let's take a look at even your course of study in the university, sociology. Why did you, is it that you just wanted to impact on lives, or that is what you were admitted for?
Actually, if you see my WAEC result, I had A's in my WAEC results. I had B, I had C's in my WAEC. So my WAEC result was good, but I chose sociology because I needed to study human and the environment and the society. Okay, because when you understand what is happening in your environment, it gives you better sense of judgment of whatever behavior people put on, what may make people take some certain decisions they take. And so sociology was a course I really, really loved to do.
How did you enjoy studying it?
I enjoyed it. It was not just sociology. I studied sociology and anthropology. It was double earned. And of course, anthropology talks about what has happened in the past, while sociology talks about what the present. So, because you must know what has happened in the past to be able to judge what is happening today, to be able to focus what will happen tomorrow. And so that was it.
Okay. Now, the question will now be, is it because you served at a bank? That's why, for the better part of your life, 10, 15 years, you were traversing from one banking sector to the other. I mean, all banks talk of Zenith, and then you ended up in Echo. So, why the banking stuff for you?
I've always wanted to be a banker but what was driving my idea then was, oh, you see banker, they look good, they dress so well. And it was when I got in, I discovered that there is more to the outlook. Okay, it's not just about the dressing and everything. You are serving people. You are putting smile on people's face. Because for every time somebody come into the bank with a problem and I'm able to solve it, it gives me satisfaction. It gives me joy. And so, yeah, I decided to, ride on it.
Mm-hmm. You see, and then in the banking industry where you served, I don't know if you were really in the core banking, but it's like you also made a mark. You left a mark in the area of customer service, human relation, and even marketing and PR. To the extent you even got several awards.
You don't just come into banking and you say, oh, I'm just a cashier, or I'm front desk officer. They take you through all departments. I was in customer service, I was a cashier, I did fund transfer, I did credit before I finally moved over to marketing. Yes.
What worked for you that your employers decided to say, oh, this is a rare breed, this is a brand, let's have, why? Because this is the Magnate. The essence of this program is to tap from people like you to endow those who are not, who are not there yet. What worked for you that you want to share with us?
The truth of the matter is, number one, when it comes to banking, honesty is number one. Sincerity is number two. Transparency is number three for me. Because if your customers see sincerity in you, and they see you are very, very transparent, you tell them the truth, and they see you are honest, they will stick to you. Sometimes people patronize a particular bank or a branch because of an individual.
True.
Because you give them that satisfaction, you give them that service they deserve. You take the business of banking to their business premises. You take business of banking to their homes. I think that is what I had that worked for me, because I had passion for my work.
What was it that you did that you left a mark that your employer decided to, amongst all the lots in the office, that person we have to award, we have to recognize that in various awards that you got?
I had passion for my work, for what I do. Mine wasn't just going after customer to collect deposit. That wasn't my style. My style, it was meeting a customer, trying to find out what you do, how can I enhance your business, how can I support you. Yes, I cannot support you. And once a customer notices that you have empathy, you have interest in their business, of course you will be their choice. Of course they will want to do business with you. But when you go to a customer, every time you go to a customer, you want to collect deposit, the customer will tell you, look, my business is not flourishing, so where am I going to get deposit from? But when you help customer to grow his or her business, of course that is when the deposit will begin to come and you begin to smile to the bank. And so I had beautiful relationship with all my customers, most especially my top 20s, because your top 20 customers gives you 80% of the deposit you need. I needed the MBA to enhance my business, my banking business, because you need to continue to find out the best way and new ways, modern way of doing banking or doing businesses. And of course, I knew that I was going to go into my own business at the end of my, eventually at the end of my banking career.
Yeah.
And so those are what informed my decision to take the MBA course.
Let's now look at your decision to quit banking. Was it a deliberate thing, or I've had enough? I've garnered enough knowledge. I've not gathered enough knowledge for me to be able to withstand my own or run my own course, run my own business. And you didn't set up a bank. You went into oil and gas. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so throw more light on that.
No, I just felt I have gotten to the peak of my career. I know because I was regional head, South, Southeast. I was an AGM. And of course, I still have executive director to be or MD to be. But I just told myself and said, hey, enough is enough. I need to go start my business and become an employer too. Because somebody gave me the opportunity, somebody gave me the platform to get to where I got to in the banking industry. So I should be able to pull out and nurture other people. So that was it.
So why oil and gas? I mean, did you affiliate with your customers that were in that sector? Why oil and gas?
Yes, I had a friend who was manning oil and gas table. Remember, I was in Akwa Ibom. Most of my banking career was in Akwa Ibom. And of course, Akwa Ibom is
the hub.
So when I came, I decided to dive into oil and gas business, and I went into it and I enjoyed it.
Okay, we'll talk more about it. You know that the issue of saying that Nigeria is a mono economy, zeroing into oil and gas, But at this point, we're still chatting with Hajia Maryam Abubakar, who has served in both public and private sector. We have really looked at estrayed her service in the banking sector. Now we are zeroing into the oil and gas. But at this point, let's bring in a young entrepreneur. How is the person faring? Are they coping with the job that they're doing? We'll be back to continue our conversation with Hajia Maryam Abubakar. You agree with me that she's such a delight to chat with. We'll be back shortly.
Hello and welcome to Magnate. As usual on the Magnate, we show you young entrepreneurs who are changing the narrative of business, young businessmen and women who are striving hard to have a living through doing something with their hands. And on today on the Magnate, we have a very, very interesting entrepreneur, someone who makes a bag. She makes a living out of making bag with Ankara fabrics. So let's have a chat with her now. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Anu Elizabeth Oshilaja.
This is leather works, and so what do you make?
We make bags with different fabrics. You can use leather, you can work with velvet, you can work with Ankara, you can work with any fabric that you desire.
When did you start this? I can see that on your logo you wrote Anne's Fabric Bags. When did you start your company?
Last year.
You started making bags last year?
Yes.
Really? And then you made it
Yes, I was among the training last year, April. So, and after I kept investing and then I start to make. So by November, my trainer moved to another session, and because I've been in the business, and she wants to move to another, she needs to commit it into another person hand.
So you said you started this business last year. So how has it been, the bag making business? How has it grown for you over that period?
I would say that it's growing, and I'm still growing the business. And I'm not stopping at what I learned. I'm still moving out to learn more, because new ideas comes out every time. So for me to keep growing the business, I have to keep my creativity up and then to rebrand what I'm doing. So though it's challenging, because at the end of the day you find out that you have to invest to buy materials, and at the end of the day nobody may be coming to get the bags. But what I do, I make for myself, If people see it, so I post it online. Oh, I like this, I like that. So I don't let that discourage me.
You're welcome back. Our conversation with our magnate for the week is with our quintessential lady who has traversed both the private and public sector. She has also nurtured a lot of people. My pleasure to still have on the magnates this week, Hajia Maryam Abubakar. Thank you very much for chatting with us and your thoughts with us.
It's my pleasure.
Very good. Now we're talking about the oil and gas. You know, Nigeria has been classified as a country of a monoproduct. Now we're having issues even in that sector with the recession and then the crash.
Let me salute the courage of Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari. When he decided to diversify from oil, because today oil price is down, tomorrow is up, and Nigerian is no agricultural strength. And at some point, we left the farm. Everybody wants a white-collar job, and so nobody wanted to go to the farm anymore. But what has he done? He came up with ERGP is to go into those areas. Let us go back to the basis. Those areas untapped, like our agriculture, okay? It's not just going to be agricultural products. Because what we were doing in the past, we go to the farm, we harvest our cocoa, we sell our cocoa in bags, and they take them away. They make chocolates and coffee, and they bring back to us. This time around, what ERGP, Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, is talking about is let us grow what we eat and process what we use. And so it's not just going to be growing the product, but we should be able to set up industries to be able to turn them to finished goods. And that is what all over the country. Subnational are challenged. They are working. Every state is now looking inward. What can we bring to the center? What can we bring to the table?
What is our potential?
You know, exactly. You know, before now, you know how much we spend on importation of rice. We spend huge dollars on importation of rice. But today, we grow the rice we eat in Nigeria. Foreign rice no longer sell in Nigeria anymore. You agree with me?
Of course.
And so, also a lot of other products. People who are into cassava cultivation, they have all woken up. Because now they now have off-takers to take over their farms. Exactly. We have a lot of companies in Nigeria that use ethanol. Okay? You get that ethanol from cassava. And we're like, we import 95% of ethanol that all these multinationals, yes, they need in Nigeria. And so, and meanwhile, we have the cassava to produce ethanol. And so, a lot of farmers has gone back to the farm, and they're having off-takers who are now processing the cassava. Some make it into cassava cake, and you now sell to other factories that are producing ethanol, and they in turn supply their ethanol to UAC and all other
companies.
Exactly.
Sometimes ago, I saw a packaged gari.
Exactly.
I saw a packaged oil. And so some of these things has really working our consciousness into how we can package some of these local content for export, not just even our use.
Exactly.
But we should have enough first before we start thinking about
No. We have enough. We have enough now. Because I went to the market last month. I was in Auchi. I went to the market. I wanted to buy a bezi of gari. I was told a bezi of gari, he said, is 2,000 naira. No. Okay. How can a bezi of gari be 2,000 naira? To buy 2 bezi, I needed to share with my friends. And they collected 4,000 naira from me and gave me 2 bezi of gari. I didn't believe it. That means we have more farmers cultivating cassava right now. That's why the fact that we are exporting, we still have enough to consume at home. And that is what development is all about.
Okay, in order not to deviate, we are talking about your service in the oil and gas sector where you're adding value. Somebody out there is listening to you. I will want to, this is my role model. What should that person do? What worked for you that you think that person can also try to do to be able to be as successful and be herself anyway, to make it in this oil and gas or any other business at all?
For me, first of all, if you can take it, you can do it.
Interesting.
If you can dream it, you can bring it to reality. Okay? A lot of people, they have what it takes to achieve whatever they want to achieve. But sometimes little setback get them discouraged and they go back. There must be up and down in business. Even in your workplace, there are up and down. Your ability to be able to surmount them and stay in there and say, look, I've come to stay. If I fall 10 times, the 11th time I'm going to stand. That is the key. Then secondly, honesty, sincerity. Because when people want to deal with you, because first of all, I haven't met you before. The first thing that comes to my mind is, I want to deal with a criminal. You only need to prove me wrong to say, no, I'm a sincere person. It's not just by saying it, but by my actions. And so when somebody deals with you, make sure you are sincere, you are honest, and the sky will be your limit.
First impression matters.
First impression matters.
Let's look at your past assignments. Yes, you said it earlier on that you're from Edo State. I'm proud to be one too, Esako to be precise. And you were one of those privileged, let me say that word, when maybe we were privileged in Edo State to go and handle or stay the mantle of leadership on a very, very sensitive ministry, budget and economic planning. Were you surprised when you were announced? You don't have lobbied for it in this era. How did you add value? What, obviously, all the sectors you have traversed previously must have groomed you enough to have been able to handle that ministry.
Honestly, I don't think I would have functioned well in any other ministry than budget and economic planning.
Interesting.
Honestly, because my training as a banker gave me the platform. Okay, I couldn't have trained as a banker, then you would take me to Ministry of Education. I couldn't have trained as a banker, you take me to Works and Housing. I couldn't have trained as a banker, you take me to some other women affairs. You understand? And so I was given the best and perfect.
Round square, round hole.
That is it.